This man has asked us to hide his identity. He fears the consequences of speaking out over what he claims is vote rigging on a mass scale. He says that orders came from above to get 25% of Moscow's 200,000 utility sector workers to falsely obtain 5 votes per person. In return, they would receive £200 each.
Fear and worry for the jobs is what drives people. They are put under pressure. Some, of course, are just happy to take the money. But in my unit, of 30 people who signed up, only 2 would have actually voted for Putin.
The end result would be 250,000 fraudulent votes for Vladimir Putin. He says each worker on the list was told to register at 5 different polling stations using these absentee forms. Legitimately, they're designed for re-registering people who can't vote in their home polling station on election day, of which he says in his company there are none. Opposition group Solidarity claims this woman they secretly filmed was trying to buy absentee forms, which they say have become hot property because they allow people to cast more than 1 vote. Vladimir Putin has preempted such opposition claims of vote rigging, saying they're quite simply false.
Our opponents are getting ready to use certain mechanisms that will prove that the election has been falsified. They will stuff the ballot boxes themselves, observe this, and then report on it.
Outwardly, this has been a fairly low-profile campaign for Vladimir Putin. This is one of his billboards, and it's difficult to find his face on it in Moscow. But there is a broad sense amongst his critics that underneath the fairly muted surface, there's a hidden campaign which has never been more aggressive. Independent monitoring website Golos has already recorded hundreds of reports of corrupt vote schemes from across Russia. Some analysts argue that this election will be fraudulent on an unprecedented scale.
Everybody says, among the service centers, among the pollsters, among the analysts, that this election will be much more rigged than the previous one. And you know, this election means the destiny, the future for Putin. So they will do everything. They will use all gimmicks, all tricks, all pressure, all administrative resource, bribery, cooptation, in order to get through the first round.
20,000 volunteers have been drafted and trained by the opposition to curb what's widely seen as inevitable fraud. Scrutiny of this vote will be more intense than ever before. Amanda Walker, Sky News, Moscow.